Hey y'all, this is my review for Blood, Sweat, and Heels, episode 9. This is also the season 1 finale. Next, I'll do the reunion, and then season 2, TBA. So let's get into the episode. So we open with Micah, and she's back at work, working with her models on a photo shoot. Seeing this, I wish they would have captured more of Micah's work life because she comes off very professional and a boss-ass bitch. But production, they wanted to capture her as a messy drunk. Next scene with Melissa as she's showing off an apartment to a client. This apartment is ugly, or it's just not furnished right. We cut to her confessional and she says she is motivated by talking to Jennifer in the last episode. Melissa is doing what she can to sell this apartment to this Harvey Weinstein looking gentleman who is very intrigued by her ass. He's not even paying attention to what she's saying. $27,000 a month? Why not just buy it? I don't know, that doesn't seem smart. Yeah, so after all that, she doesn't get the sale, and he has more to say about her white dress than the apartment, but he does tell her he's gonna think over it. Next scene, we see all the ladies receiving Demetria's invite to get them all together on a boat for dinner. We see that Micah and Daisy are shocked by this invitation. Meanwhile, Geneva doesn't know if she wants to go or not because she says Micah is a loose cannon, and she refers to her multiple times as an alcoholic, once to her mom, also in the confessional as well. It's so ironic seeing Geneva be so concerned about a fight happening when she's the only cast member who got into a physical altercation that basically blew up the season. We see Micah is also concerned about being on a boat with Geneva, Demetria, and Bree. And she's saying that the fact that she's on a boat means that she can't leave. Now, I'm sure Demetria had that in mind when she was planning this event. Side note, I don't have my glasses or contacts in right now, so if I'm squinting, that's why. Next scene with Demetria at a photo shoot for her next book cover. You know, from every person I know who's written a book, I knew the process was very exhausting, so I understand her sentiments in her confessional right now. The process is similar to giving birth to a baby. Side note, that's a really cute dress she's wearing. Next scene with my two favorites, Bree and Geneva, and they're taking a spin class. Oh, okay, Daisy's there too, and it turns out that it's not just a spin class, it's like a charity event, and it's incorporated into a spin class. Yeah, nothing about this looks fun. I've taken one spin class, and I think that was enough for me. So after the class, the girls are talking about Demetria's upcoming event, and Geneva says she's not going. Geneva claims that she's always had a healthy attitude. I definitely disagree with that. Now, I can't remember if Geneva decided to go or not, but she's very adamant about not going. Again, the irony of Geneva calling someone aggressive and violent. You went up somebody's head with a bottle, girl. So next scene with Melissa as she's talking to her mom and her aunt. You know, I gotta admit, I was a little surprised that Melissa had a white mama. Like, her mom and her aunt are the whitest of white women, and she's explaining to them what ratchet means right now. Now, in this scene, we see her mom and aunt are worried about her life decisions. I guess they want her to have, like, a steady 9-to-5 job to be able to support herself. And of course, they're worried about her, like if she wants to have kids one day, like does she want to settle down? I'm sure women in their 30s are tired of the anxiety and pressure put on them to have kids. I really am curious, what is Melissa Ford up to today? Can y'all update me in the comments? Like, I know she's on Joe's podcast, Joe Budden, but what else is she doing? Like, is she married? Is she still single? Is she happy? Does she have a thriving career now? So next scene is the day of Demetria's event on the boat. We just see everybody getting ready, and here go Daisy in that Gayle King wig, and she has gifts she's packing for everyone. Daisy is really approaching this gathering in a very positive way. Daisy always did that. That's why I think she was so beloved. While production is really amping up the anticipation to this boat event. So we see most of the ladies arriving on the yacht. The question is Geneva coming or not? Honestly, I think if Geneva isn't there, the other ladies will be able to find like resolution between one another. Wow, so we cut to Geneva getting out the car and she decided to come after all. Well, so much for resolution now, because I think Geneva brings so much negative energy with her. So far, everyone's getting situated and there's no drama. Yet. So they're all sitting at a table for lunch. On one side you have the prouds and on the other you have the louds. So Daisy starts to tone off right and very positive by surprising each of the ladies with a personalized gift from her. We got to Demetria's confessional, and she said she's surprised that Daisy isn't getting on her nerves, and she's definitely going to give her another chance. So after that, Demetria opens the floor to the ladies to hopefully resolve their conflicts with each other. I honestly feel like the majority of the conflict is involving Micah, like Micah with Demetria, Micah with Geneva, Micah with Bree, because Demetria and Daisy, they already settled their beef, and no one else has beef. So of course we're talking about what happened in the Hamptons. Micah says that she just didn't feel friendship energy, and her emotional outburst was more so because of her dad. Yes, she went to Bree's house drunk, and I just think if they more so greeted her with, oh, hey girl, like, you late, but let's go to dinner. But they were really coming at her, like, first you're late, are you intoxicated right now? Shh. It was all of that combined that didn't make the situation any better. Now, I'm not absolving Micah from everything, but I'm just saying that both sides, I think, were a little wrong. Demetria tells Micah that she was out of control in the Hamptons, and it was just no excuse for it, period. Micah then tells Demetria that you are not comfortable around someone like me. I do think that Demetria never liked Micah and judged her from day one. So it seems we're at a bit of a stalemate here. Like, I think the other ladies just want Micah to say that her behavior was out of line at the Hamptons. But in Micah's head, she's like, well, I didn't do anything wrong in the Hamptons. Like, I was going through something. Like, could y'all give me some type of grace from what I was going through, whether if I was sober or not? So this is what they're not seeing eye to eye on. Micah then brings Melissa and Daisy into it, just saying, I hang around them more than y'all. And they accept me. Even if I did have an emotional outburst, they would understand. Bree then interjects and says, you're the same way around me too, but I was cool with it until the Hamptons. Her and Melissa are going back and forth, but then Bree says, we live in the United States of America and I can have an opinion. And my opinion is, you're a sloppy drunk. Ooh. It's a little silence at the table. We got to Micah's confessional, and she said she's a little disappointed in Daisy and Melissa for not really riding for her in that moment because she said it was 3 against 1. So after that awkward silence at the table, Micah apologized and said, I'm sorry for my behavior. And she still puts it on her dad, but she said in that stage she couldn't take anything negative that day, and that's what set her off. Micah looks like she's getting more and more defeated in the moment. And then Demetria says, what happened in the Hamptons, you was a stone cold alcoholic. Now, Melissa was riding with her in the car on the way to the event and said, y'all, don't bring up the alcoholic accusations. That's what's really gonna make things go left. And they definitely do. Daisy says, can we not, throw around the alcoholic accusation? So then Geneva interjects and actually tells Daisy to be quiet, I guess because she wasn't there. They're now going back and forth to the point where Demetria has to step in and calm down the situation. Ooh, the look on Melissa's face looking at Geneva. I think this is where she saw her for who she is. Because Geneva is just instigating the situation. When Demetria tells the table that they don't have to resort to name calling, Daisy says, well, y'all been calling her an alcoholic the entire time. So now we're at the table and now it's officially the Louds versus the Prouds. I don't think the conversation is going anywhere and they're not going to get any type of resolution. I don't think the conversation is going to go anywhere. It's now going in circles. They're not going to get a resolution. So now Micah just gets up from the table. We cut to her confessional and she says she just feels alone in the moment. She feels let down that Daisy and Melissa really didn't come to her defense. And she's getting flashbacks from her childhood and when she was bullied. I just think no one wants to take accountability. And I think, Micah was beat down so much at the table with 3 against 1. Like they just kept saying alcoholic, alcoholic, alcoholic. Like y'all got the apology out of the girl. I'm sorry. So Micah's downstairs in the yacht, and then Daisy and Melissa joins her, and she tells Daisy that she felt alone up there, and she calls him out for not really coming to her aid. And Daisy says the reason why she didn't intervene was because she felt it would escalate the situation. We see Melissa apologize to Micah for her feeling like she didn't have her back. The boat looked like it's docked. The rest of the ladies are up top, and I guess they're about to watch fireworks. Micah just wants to get off the fucking boat. Like, she just wants to go. She feels absolutely defeated. But Daisy and Melissa is trying to get her to stay. So Micah actually makes it up top, watching the fireworks with the rest of the ladies. But Ooh, like the vibe is just off. Like she just looks angry as well as sad. So it looks like the episode is coming to a close, but we see the Louds on one side and the Prouds on the other. Again, Daisy and Melissa apologizing to Micah for not having her back. Is this where the episode ends? Okay, so Daisy's making a joke and at least gets a smile out of Micah. I do remember at the reunion, I think Daisy and Melissa redeemed themselves because they definitely had Micah's back there, especially after they watched the show and saw what went down in the Hamptons. Yeah, it looks like they're wrapping up. They're going through each of the ladies' confessionals. Demetria says she don't know if anything was resolved, but the fact that no one went overboard, she'd call it a success. Yeah, they're basically doing their outros right now in their confessional. Daisy's being very optimistic with the group. Geneva's saying she's ready for what's next, which happened to be a bottle over Melissa Ford's head. And yeah, the credits are rolling as the ladies are watching the fireworks, and that is where the episode ends. We're at the end of season 1, y'all. I would love to know what y'all thought about the last showdown between the Louds and the Prouds. Like, whose side were y'all on? Did you love the season as a whole? And yeah, with that, y'all make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for the reunion. Bye.